anything else around Marilise and your journey that you'd like to share with our listeners for inspiration
Yeah, I
that
think
we
for
haven't
me,
covered?
yeah, for me, it's been a very I would say what's been a pivotal point for me in my life, and I love what you said earlier about holistic approach, because that is very much how I am approaching my life now. But one of the things and one of the lessons that I'm learning is about really, really leaning into asking myself on a moment by moment basis every single day, would I love this? You know, when I'm about to do something, it's like, would I love this? What do I really want? Now, when you start asking yourself questions like this, you know, like I did back in October 2021, and I realized, oh my goodness. So I was kind of looking at my life holistically, my health and my well being, my love and my relationships, my vocation, or I call it my roaring calling, and then my time and my money freedom. So you kind of look at it holistically, and I had all these beautiful things that popped up. But then I realized, oh my gosh, we're not in the right country, because all the people I love, everything that matters to me are actually back home in SA. And then you make big life decisions on the back of really leaning into what is it that I would love? You know, what kind of life would I truly love to be living? So forget about societal expectations, forget about the pressures, the external pressures, really leaning into what would you love? What matters to you? Finding those moments in your life that light you up, you know, those raw moments, as I call them. So I think it's important. That's been, I think, the biggest change in my life is giving myself permission to really, really lean into what is it that I want? How many times, Zach, have you asked someone, what do you want? And they have no idea what they want. And I see this too often. So I would love to see that change.
That's amazing. And I think, the flip of that, it's so easy to say what I don't want as opposed to what
Yes.
I do want, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um,
And
hmm,
that's okay. If that's where you have to start, then start there. What is it that I don't want? But then psychologically, it's important then to say, but what do I want? Because if you also focus on what you don't want, you also attract more of that into your life. So you've also got to take the focus and the energy away from that into the what do I want?
I
So
love
psychologically, that's also important, right?
I love the theme of flow and energy, and a lot of what I've heard is consistency.
Yes.
Is what I've heard. What advice would you give Marilise 20 years ago, starting out?
I think I would definitely tell her to be kinder to herself. So kindness to self is something that I think is my life curriculum. I'm going to have to, well, a part of me will have to continue working on that, because it is something that doesn't come naturally to me. I set incredibly high standards for myself, sometimes impossible. And I think that whole kindness to self and self love is incredibly important. You know, so you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. That's just the bottom line at the end of the day. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship. I'm talking more about humanity as a whole. So I think for me, words like self compassion, kindness, self love, it's all like words that really, really in my vocabulary is words that I have to, say to myself often and remind myself often. And then my other big word is courage. You know, have the courage to roar, have the courage to speak up, have the courage to go for that big goal and that big dream, and just know the what and the why. You could figure out the how along the way.
Beautiful, so eloquently said, Marlies, and I think your energy and your spirit really comes through in our conversation. So
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Thank you.
sharing your journey and those words of wisdom and inspiration, and I hope we inspire someone. Yeah, we've come to the end of our session. So
Thank
thank you for your
you
time.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.